And my decision was, I am not going to die at my desk doing a job that I don't love because it makes a lot of money. What's up, YouTube? My name is Spencer, and I help parents and caregivers teach their little ones how to read. And I knew I was gonna make this video like a year and a half ago. When I first had the idea for the business, before I quit my job, I knew that this video was coming, and I've tried it this time like 5 times and not gotten it right, but we're gonna do one take. I'm gonna be super honest. I'm just gonna say what I say. I think a lot of this, like my hesitancy making this video, like I know people feel different ways about money. I know for me to say how much I was making, that makes some people feel uncomfortable. Like, oh, well, I know like my personality isn't for everyone. And I know some people are gonna watch a video like this and you're gonna think I'm crazy for walking away from that. You're gonna think I'm crazy for what I'm walking towards. Like, some people aren't gonna get this. That's okay. That's okay. That's fine for me. The reason I'm making this video is because I know there's a lot of people right now who are in situations that they don't want to be in, and they're either scared to take a step or they literally don't even think a step is possible. I think a lot of us are programmed to think like, what I'm doing now is what I need to keep doing, right? I wake up, I get dressed, I brush my teeth, I eat breakfast, I do blah, blah, blah. I go to this job that I don't like and I just keep doing it, and we think we have to keep doing it. We're just programmed to just do what's in front of us, right? And so for some folks, I hope this video is helpful for you to let you know, like, you don't have to keep doing the same shit again and again and again, right? We can move out of it. And then for other folks, I know that you follow me online, you follow my tips, you've bought my course, you're working with your little one, and it helps to know the person who's giving you the advice. Be like, you know, is he honest? Is he telling the truth? Does he know his stuff, right? All that sort of thing. Hopefully this video can help with that, to let you know where I'm coming from and why I'm putting so much time, effort, resources into this business and why I really believe in it. But either way, I thought it was important that you know who I am, where I come from, and what I walked away from, what I've risked, what I've sacrificed to be able to put this business together, and how parents and caregivers everywhere teach their little ones how to read. Okay, so that's it. That's the backstory. And in terms of where I was prior to Toddlers Can Read, there's like kind of like 2 career steps. So after I finished college, the first stop was teaching. And as a teacher, like, long story short, I got really good. By the end of my 6th year, I had won, actually by the end of my 5th year, 4 different teaching awards, over $30,000. I was on kind of like this small list of teachers recognized by the governor as one of the best teachers in the state. Like, I wanted to be Texas State Teacher of the Year. Like, all that stuff was really important to me. And at this time, I thought I was gonna be a teacher for the rest of my life. I thought that's what I was gonna do, right? I'm just gonna keep teaching. I'm gonna try and win a bunch of awards. I'm gonna try and help a bunch of kids. I'm gonna meet a lot of families. I had moved into my school's community. I lived closer to the school than all my kids, but 2 of them. Like, I was there for 5 years in that community. It's where I got my hair cut. I visited my families. I went to their houses. They went to mine. Like, that was my life, y'all. That was my life. But you know, having a kid changes things. And when my partner found out she was pregnant, I knew I wasn't gonna be able to be the kind of daddy I wanted to be to my son, and the kind of teacher I wanted to be for my kids, right? I thought both deserved full attention, and what I chose was my son. So at this time, I've been teaching for 6 years. I did it right out of college. I'd never had another job. I'd never been through a job search process. I just knew 2 things. I needed more money, because I needed my partner to be able to stay home. We had 2 teaching salaries, and we were moving down to just my salary. I wanted more money, and I also wanted the flexibility to be able to work from home, so I can go to his doctor's appointments and his little gym classes and like all that sort of thing. I wanted to be able to be there for him and watch him grow up. The plan is to have 1 kid, not to have more. So the moment's there, it's gone, we don't get it back. I wanted to be there for him. So as time went on, this is my 6th year teaching, and we found out she was pregnant like the summer right before, and he was born in March. So all year, what I'm doing is I'm looking for other jobs, and I'm looking, searching. By the time he's born, I'm still looking. I'm still searching. I put together like this 25-page proposal to the district. They turned it down. I was looking for jobs. I was posting my resume. I was emailing people. After he was born, just like almost all night, like he would wake up at like 10 or 11, and I would give him a bottle. I'd rock him to sleep. I'd put him down. And then from like 10:30 or 11 until 2 a.m., I'm up working, sending my resume, doing something, right? And in my head, I'm like, I know my kid's never gonna like consciously remember any of this, and like he's not gonna know this, but as I was working to find that job, the whole time I was thinking like, I need to be there for my son. I need to make more money. I need to have more time with them. I need to be there. I need to provide. So if I need to stay up late and keep working to get that job, I will, and it's gonna pay off. And eventually it did. About a month before my salary was gonna cut from teaching, we get paid through the summer, about a month before I had normal money coming in, about a month before I was gonna have normal benefits, I found a job, paid more money, worked from home, okay? And I was through the roof, right? We don't have to sell our house yet. So I take the job, I get it, and I'm working. This is 2018, okay? By 2020, in that job, I've been promoted. So I started as a fellow, I get promoted to director, and now I'm making $107,000 a year. $107,000 a year working from home. And between me and you, don't tell my company, I'm not working incredibly hard, right? I'm not working as hard as I worked as a teacher. I have incredible benefits, vision, dental. I needed the dental. Great benefits. I'm getting my cell phone bill paid, some office expenses covered, like everything is great financially. I'm making double my teaching salary. I never thought I would hit 6 figures, ever. I thought I was gonna be a teacher, right? And I'm working, and then like it starts to break out 2020. And I had never, before that, like since getting the job, I had never even questioned, like, do I just stay here or do I just keep working? But like right around this time, like hit, and you have the New York Times releasing an article, 100,000 lives lost, you know, and for months and months and months, I've just been getting numb to the fact that like the numbers are climbing and people are dying. But when I saw the faces and read the stories of people dying, I started to be like, this is a real thing. You know, prior to that, Kobe Bryant died and his daughter Gianna, and he was, you're like, Spence, you don't know. I'm like, I get it, but like he was a big deal to me growing up. It was like an idol. Like people called me Kobe in grade school. My cousin died. She was in her 20s. And I'm off social media at this point completely. I've been off social media for 2 years. The goal, just like work on myself, do some self-development, all that stuff. And I'm just at my desk, upstairs, thinking, looking around, and I'm like, what am I doing? I'm making a ton of money, but am I doing something I love? No. Am I using the skills I learned as a teacher? No. Am I working with kids? Am I happy? Am I being a good dad? Right? Like these are the thoughts, and the answer is no. I'm not being the kind of partner I want to be to my girlfriend. I'm not being the kind of dad I want to be to my son, because for 8 to 9 hours of the day, I'm doing something I don't want to do. And all around me, people are dying, right? Like that's the calculation. And at that point, I had started meditating. I kind of started thinking about my life, and I made a decision. Initially, it was just me, and then I tell anyone who would listen. And my decision was, I am not going to die at my desk doing a job that I don't love because it makes a lot of money. Like, that's not gonna happen. I started waking up every day. I mean, it's crazy, but like every day with the thought process of like, I could die today. I could go, everyone around me is going. It could be me too. And it's not happening here. And I did not work my ass off to get this job for my son, to be a better daddy, and then not spend time with him. not take care of him, not be there emotionally and like just mentally, spiritually in the way that I want to for my son because I'm spending all day doing something I don't want to do, right? And I knew I was gonna quit. Well, I knew I was gonna quit. I knew I was gonna make the video. I knew I wanted to share it with people, right? Because a lot of us, we wake up and we just think that's what we have to do. We don't. And so when I made this decision, I didn't know what it was gonna be yet. I didn't know it was gonna be Toddlers Can Read. I just knew I'm gonna do something else. And I had been working with my son on his reading at the same time. I had been working with him. No one knew this. I wasn't on social media. My kid, if you ever met him, like developmentally, I love him so much. Developmentally, he's average or slightly behind other kids in a lot of different areas, especially physically and in terms of his like motor skills. He's the last kid you would expect to be a really, really, really early reader. But he was. And so I'm thinking through like, what am I going to do that I am really, really good at doing? Like, what am I skilled enough to do? Short list. Then I had to think about, what am I gonna be able to do that's gonna be able to provide for my family? I'm like, I don't know, because we bought this house with my old income. I'm paying for his school with my old income. We had benefits and insurance from my old income, so I don't know where that's gonna come from. And I had to think about, what am I gonna wake up and be excited to do? What am I gonna wanna do? What's gonna give me energy instead of taking energy away? And when I thought through these three things, what am I the best in the world at? What is gonna provide for my family? And what am I gonna wake up excited to do? It hit me. I knew it. I was like, I can help other families teach their little ones how to read too. And that's where Toddlers Can Read came from. Now, as I'm starting this idea, I was very well aware of people's perceptions about toddlers reading. If you don't know them, here they are. Lots of people think toddlers can't read. For people who can read, they're like, okay, they can, but like they're a freak, they're an Einstein. They were like born different, right? They think it's like some anomaly that they can read. Or they're like, it's completely developmentally inappropriate. You're forcing them, you're pushing stuff too soon. It's way harder than all the other stuff you do. Like, why do that? It's too academic, it doesn't matter, it doesn't make a difference. Like all this stuff, people have all these beliefs. And if you have those beliefs, that's fine. I'm not the guy for you, right? Those aren't the people who watch my videos. But I knew people had these beliefs, but I still knew that this is what I wanted to do, that this is how I could impact families, that there would be enough people who believed in their little ones, enough adults who thought that learning to read was important for their little ones, who would be able to eventually support me to benefit, to grow. And so far as we've grown and as we've scaled the business, that's proven to be true. But just know, like at the time, before Toddlers Can Read is something that you know now. We've got the nice lights, the camera, it looks professional, it looks nice. This was literally no income, no benefits, nothing. And if Toddlers Can Read failed, we would have lost the benefits, the insurance, the salary, the house, like everything. Would have lost everything. I think what I want to communicate to you is, if you are someone who is in a position where you are consistently just doing the thing that you think you're supposed to do, you're not happy about it, you don't love it, I'm not saying quit your job. I'm just saying that there are options. There are things that you can do. I keep a list in my head, some of you are on it, of the number of people who thought I was crazy starting this business. The number of people who told me my son couldn't do it, that it was too early, it was too soon, it wasn't appropriate. Of the people who thought leaving 6 figures was crazy, not worth it, right? I keep those names. We don't have to keep doing the same thing. And there's other folks who, like, if you watch my content, if you've seen my tips, if you've gotten the resources, if you bought the course, what I want you to know from this is, like, I risked everything for this. I don't take it lightly. I'm not someone who's sitting in front of you to take your money. I'm not someone here to con you into thinking your kid can do something that they can't. I'm not here to just kind of like pat myself in the back and get a bunch of followers. Like, I could care less about that. I risked everything to support you, to support your little one. I've seen the difference it makes in my son's life when I compare his life to my life. Knowing how to read, not knowing how to read. At 2, he was a better reader than me at 6. I've seen the difference that makes in how he feels about reading and what he's able to learn and what he's able to get. And I want your little one to get that too. I don't want people to have the experience I had in school. So is it a little bit different? Yes. Do most people think toddlers can read? No. Would most people leave that position? No. But when it comes down to it, your little one is as important as my little one. And if you want to help support them in their reading, if you want to help get them to that next step, even if you want to just kind of play with it a little bit and see if they enjoy learning their sounds, which most kids do, I've given up a lot. I've risked a lot to be able to support you. And I sincerely hope that you'll find my resources helpful. And like more than anything, hopefully just like the energy, the spirit, the honesty, the straightforwardness. I'm not gonna bullshit you on anything here, right? You're just gonna get good, helpful, useful tips. So if that is helpful, if that is meaningful for you, I've got some tips like free on my YouTube, on my social media. I've also got a free training in my bio of how to help get your little one reading quickly, right? So you can check that out. I've also got like full paid courses where literally we did the whole thing, the camera, the setup. I put everything I know in those courses for you too, which you can also get access to help your little one learn to read. So how was that? I think that was pretty good. Better than the last times. I hope this was sincerely helpful for you and for your little one as well. If you would like to see more videos from me, they're not gonna all be like this, right? Most of them are gonna be instructional. It's gonna be helpful, like practical tips, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, and your kid's gonna start reading. But if you do wanna see more videos from me, please subscribe to the channel, click the notification so you can see more videos. And until next time, I will talk to you soon.